everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a Sephora haul. I haven't shopped at Sephora in so long, it feels like. There just hasn't been any new releases that have really caught my eye and that I just felt like I needed. But recently I placed about 3 orders because they had a lot of new releases that I was interested in finally. Also, at the end of this video, we're going to talk about the fall VIB sale because it's coming up sooner than you would think. So we're going to chat about that a little bit, but let's just go ahead and get into everything that I purchased recently from Sephora. If you've been here for a little while, you know how I feel about trying new foundations. So I picked up 4 new foundations that caught my eye. I have on one of these today. If you're thinking, that looks a little dark or she looks really tan, it's because I bought a shade that was about 1,000 times too dark for me, but I was too excited to try it, not to wear it. So I put it on today and I was like, we're just gonna go with it because I really wanna try out this foundation. Even though it's extremely too dark for me. Start with that one that I have on since I'm talking about it. It is the new Natasha Denona Transfer Matte Pore Vanishing Matte Foundation. Now I got the shade 40N, which is light medium neutral. I should have known, like, I am never in the medium category. I just should have known that this would be way too dark for me, even self-tanned. But I will tell you why I picked up this shade. I'm looking up all the shades online right now, so I can tell you my thought process behind getting this one, that even though it's way too dark for me. Okay, this one is, like I said, light medium neutral. I normally like to buy a neutral tone foundation. I am cool toned and have a lot of pink in my skin, but a lot of times a neutral will work for me and kind of cancel out some redness while still working with my skin tone. But anyway, shade selection. They have fair with neutral undertone, which is very, very, very light, which will match me in the winter, but I wanted something for the summer. They have a second fair with neutral undertone. Then it goes to light. Light with yellow undertone, light with warm undertone, light with red undertone, light with warm, light with neutral yellow, light with yellow, light with warm yellow. Okay, so that's all the light shades. There is no light neutral. So then it goes into the light mediums, and light medium is the very next one that has a light with neutral undertone. So that's why I picked up this one. So I'm going to have to figure out what shade I really want and what I'm going to do and reorder this because I put it on today for the very first time. It is gorgeous. As soon as I got this in the mail, I did swatch it on the back of my hand and I thought, oh, this is really promising. I like the packaging. The white is so pretty to me. It has a pump, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see anything about this foundation from a swatch, but it is so smooth. It had really nice coverage. When it dried down, it didn't like crinkle up the skin on the back of my hand. It didn't look dry. It just looks super smooth and nice coverage. And I really just thought, oh, this could be really promising on the skin. So I'm actually wearing it on my face for the first time today, and it is just as good as I thought it might be. It is full coverage. It really does blur your pores. It is pore vanishing. It is a pretty matte. It doesn't look dry on my skin. I cannot wait to reorder this in a shade that actually matches me because it is so pretty on the skin. And also, one of my biggest things, one of my biggest pet peeves is a foundation that doesn't set and that feels greasy and transfers. This one does not transfer and it sets really well. I did set it with a powder, but it still doesn't like have that greasy feel on the skin. It actually sets and it doesn't come off very easily. So I know people say, oh, you can't have a good first impression about a foundation, you have to keep wearing it. Well, I found with me that my first impressions are normally spot on. I know what I'm looking for. I'm very picky. And so I don't want to have to work with a foundation and try this primer and that primer and powder and no powder. Like, I want it to be so good that you don't have to do anything special to it. So this one leaves a great first impression, so I think I'm really gonna like it. Of course, check out my next monthly favorites to see hits and misses, and I'll tell you more information about it then. I always include more information in those videos about what I've tried that month, but my first impression on this is a huge thumbs up. Then I picked up the new Beauty Blender Bounce Foundation. This is Liquid Whip Longwear Foundation. I really actually do like the packaging. I didn't think that I was going to be using this the way it was intended, where you pump it out onto this and then dip your Beauty Blender in, but I did use it that way and I found that I really liked it. Also, a little bit of this foundation goes a long way, so that's really nice. It's 1 fluid ounce, but I think it would last longer than your typical foundation. This one I got shade 1.2 and it was a really good match for me for my actual skin tone. I have worn this, I think, 3 times. What I will say about it is that it is a good foundation. It's a good solid foundation, but there was nothing really, really special to me about it. Right now I am using the Dior Backstage Face and Body Foundation. That right now is the gold standard. I am comparing everything to that one. That is my holy grail as of right now. And so everything gets compared to that one. But this one just fell short. There was nothing really special about it. I still love the Dior so much more. This one, I thought that I got a lot more greasy at the end of the day than with my other foundations that I use. Also, it kind of didn't meld with the skin as well as I would have liked. It kind of looked like it was sitting on top of the skin a little bit more. So I will be sending this one back just because it's nice, but I don't need it. I have so many others that I would reach for over this one. I also picked up the new IT Cosmetics Oil-Free Matte CC Plus Cream. The original CC cream I cannot use because it's just too dewy for me. I've seen it on other people and it just doesn't look as shiny as it does on me. On me, it is really glowy and shiny, and it's even hard to mattify with powder. So when I saw this, I knew that I wanted to try it. First of all, I got the shade Fair Light, and just look at the difference in that swatch and the actual bottle. These swatches are so off, so be sure and don't go by this little sticker, like open it up and look at the pump, because this is my self-tan shade and it is by no means fair. And I tried this one for the first time yesterday. I did like this one so much better than the original. It didn't have that really greasy, glowy look on my skin. It wasn't completely matte. It had a nice natural matte finish. I like that it didn't have the same scent as the original CC cream. I was not a fan of that scent. That was just a personal preference. It also went completely matte with a powder, which the original did not do for me. As the name implies, it is so much like the original. It's just a little bit more matte. Unfortunately for me, it did have that greasy feel when I touched my skin. It never fully set and it transferred really easily. So those are just no-goes for me. I've learned that I just do not like that in a foundation. So this is not going to work out for me either. But for those of you who love the original and are just getting by with that little bit of too much dewiness, too much greasiness, give this one a shot because it really is a lot better. Oh, and it wore beautifully throughout the day. It really lasted. When I went and washed my face at the end of the night, I thought, ooh, this still looks really, really good, and it was not too shiny. So if it wasn't for the way it felt on my skin, I would be keeping this and really enjoying it. And lastly, I got the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin. This is a full coverage foundation, and it's supposed to last 24 hours. I haven't really got to play around with this one yet, but I did try the Matte Velvet Plus a long, long time ago. So since they came out with a new version, I wanted to try it as well. I got the shade R210 for when I am pale, and it's a really good match for when I'm pale. So I haven't really gotten to play with this one very much, but I will say it is medium to full coverage, suitable for combination to oily skin. And another thing I read on the back that I thought was interesting is it says, is enriched with cinnamon and ginger to be respectful of your skin. First of all, that's just a really weird statement to make. And secondly, cinnamon does not sound like something you need on your skin. That sounds like a skin irritant, and I don't think that should be put in a foundation. Also, it has kind of a weird smell, and I'm sure that's the cinnamon and ginger, but to me, it's not a smell that a foundation should have. So those are just kind of little first impressions and what I read on the box, but we'll see, and I'll discuss it more in my hits and misses. Then I got this as a sample, but it's the Tarte Creaseless Concealer. I had been wanting to try this because all of the concealers I've been using lately are creasing really badly. They're creasing before I can even get some powder on top of them. So this was a free sample. I knew that I wanted to get it and try it out. I got the shade Light, and when I first swatched it, I thought, oh my, I am going to hate this. It is incredibly thick and kind of a sticky consistency, so I thought that I would absolutely hate this. But I'm wearing it for the first time today, and I was super impressed. First of all, you can see from this swatch, it kind of has a radiant sheen to it, so even though it's thick, it doesn't leave your under eyes looking dry, which I thought was really impressive. Every other thick concealer I've ever worn leaves it just looking crepey and old and dry, and this one doesn't do that. And even though it's thick, it blends out really beautifully. And it truly was creaseless. It did not crease before I got my powder on. It hasn't creased since I've had my powder on. So I am really excited to use up this entire bottle, make sure that I really love it, and then I'll be repurchasing a full-size bottle if it is as good as it was today. Then I got a new sponge holder from the Sephora collection. This holds my beauty blender, and it is a plastic case as opposed to the mesh cases I've had in the past. Now, I still love my mesh case. I just saw that this was new. It's kind of comparable to the new Beauty Blender version that they have out now. And so it's really inexpensive. I just wanted to try it, and I really do like it. It fits one Beauty Blender just right. It has holes on both sides, so your beauty blender is not going to mold or anything like that. It's got lots of airflow. So I've really been enjoying this. I still like the mesh version, but I've got one for travel now and one for home. Now, I probably didn't need this, but this was one of the brushes that was on the weekly wow. It was on sale. I'll have to check and see if it's still on sale, but I'll link it if I do find it. It is one of the Sephora Collection Pro brushes, and this one is number 73. It is a precision blush brush. And I use blush brushes for so many different things, so I just knew that I would get use out of this. It's a very small blush brush, and it's kind of tapered to a point and very skinny. So when I got it in, I thought, oh, this is perfect for like contour, bronzer right here. I have used it once for that reason, and it's really nice just to darken up this area right here. I do use a bigger brush when I do like a bronzer right here, but if you just want to darken up right here by your ear, this is the perfect like small pointed tapered brush to do that with. So because it was so inexpensive, I knew that I would find a use for it, and I love the Pro Collection from Sephora, so I'm really glad I picked this up. Oh, another random thing I picked up is the Sephora Instant Nail Polish Remover. This is my favorite nail polish remover of all times. It works so well. Plus, I love this type of packaging when it comes to a nail polish remover. It has the nail polish remover liquid in there, but it also has the foam where you just stick your finger in it, rub it around, and it just instantly removes your nail polish. It's so quick and easy. I don't have to have cotton balls. All you need is this. And I've already gone through an entire bottle, so it was time to get a new one. I love this stuff. And lastly, I have two lip products. This one was actually a 100-point perk, and they do still have it right now. So if you're ready to make an order, go pick up the Anastasia lip gloss. It's in the shade Saint Tropez. If you have 100 points to spend, I would highly recommend this. I haven't ever used an Anastasia lip gloss before, but this one is absolutely beautiful. It is a berry mauve shade, but it has a bunch of fine gold glitter in it that makes it a metallic. And metallic's normally not my thing, but this one is so pretty on the lips, and the shade is gorgeous. It's so rich, so opaque. It's probably a shade I never would have actually purchased in store or thought about getting, but I'm so glad that I got it with just 100 points because it's really beautiful. It will be so pretty in the fall. And I love just like stepping out and trying this new metallic trend. So this is a great way to do that without actually spending any money. Now this next product I saw in Bailey Lane's Sephora wish list video. She was going through all the things she was putting into her wish list, and one of them was the new Urban Decay Lo-Fi Lip Mousse. It is a modern matte finish, weightless, and waterproof. I was really intrigued. I love lip products, and a lot of the things that she had on her wish list, you need to go check out that video because it's really good. I also put in my wish list, but this was the one thing that I couldn't wait on. I wanted to try it immediately, so I went and placed an order right then. It comes in what looks like a single eyeshadow, and that is exactly what it reminds me of. It reminds me of eyeshadow. You put your finger in it, and it feels like a nice, creamy eyeshadow. It doesn't feel like a mousse at all. There's no wet feeling to it. And then when you put it on your hand or on your lips, it also looks kind of like an eyeshadow. It's very sheer, and then you can build up the color if you want, but it truly is weightless. It's matte. It feels like you have absolutely nothing on your lips, but it stains it really well, so I can see how it would be waterproof. But let me just build this up so you can see how you can build up the color on your lips. Isn't that pretty? This is the shade Echo, and so this is going to be really pretty for the fall as well. Let me wipe my finger off before I get this everywhere. See how much it stained my finger? So it's going to stain your lips really well. But the packaging is also really cool, and that when you flip up the lid, did you see this little thing pop out? You can just pop this out, and it's almost like an eyeshadow applicator. If you don't want to use your finger, you can use this and be more precise with it as well. It also has a really nice mirror in the lid, so you can use this on the go. You just stick it right back in, and then when you shut the lid, it just retracts and goes right back in. Very neat packaging. I just wanted to pick this up because it's so new and innovative. There's nothing like this on the market that I know of anyway. I know there are lip powders, but I love that this is in like a compact version. I haven't worn this a full day, but on my lips I put it on, and it just felt like absolutely nothing on them. It wasn't drying. It was your lips except with a little more color. It wasn't drying, but if your lips are already dry, it's going to accentuate that just a little bit. So I'm excited to see what this looks like with maybe a little bit of lip balm on top or lip gloss. And then if my lips are in a really good place and nice and hydrated, this is going to look beautiful on its own and be nice and matte without being drying because it's just like nothing on your lips. So that's it. That's everything for my Sephora haul. So now let's talk about the upcoming VIB sale. Now, I did not think I would be talking about it this early because I did not think it would be that early this year. But my friend Ashley here on YouTube, I will link her channel down below. She was talking on her Instagram about putting things on the wish list for the sale, and I knew that it was upcoming, you know, in the fall. But then somebody said something about it being way earlier than normal. So I did a little research and I found online that Musings of a Muse, I think that's her blog name, I will link that as well because that's where I found my information, put up the flyer for the VIB sale. And it is going to be August 24th through September 3rd. It is so early this year, which makes me really wonder if we're going to get to shop all of the holiday palettes and holiday gift sets that we normally do, which I'm thinking we won't, but I just can't believe it's going to be that early. This year is 20% off for Rouge, 15% for VIB, and 10% for insiders. And Rouge now earns 1.5 points per dollar. VIB earns 1.25 points per dollar. So Rouge gets to start on the 24th of August, and VIB and Insider gets to start on August 30th. So I can't believe it's coming up so soon. Some of the stuff I would have waited on had I known I would get to buy it so soon. But I'm definitely starting my wish list now. So now I'm really starting to build up my wish list. I'm going through all the new releases and everything. I'm going through my drawers, seeing what I need, and really building up my wish list and getting prepared for the sale. So I won't be buying anything else until the sale for sure. So unless you see something from my video that you just cannot wait to purchase, go ahead and put it in your wish list. I would suggest purchasing at least like one thing, and then you can go get the lip gloss for a 100-point perk. And I don't know if they still have this one, I'll have to look, but it's one of the free samples you get if you spend $25 or more. So it's not a 100-point perk, it's one of the free samples. Okay, I think that's all I wanted to cover today. Can you tell I'm feeling like the fall vibes? I've got my darker lip on. I've got a fall colored shirt on. If you want to see my full outfit and how I styled this, I do have a new Instagram photo up. If you're not following me over there, be sure and do so. I try to post to stories a lot more now. It is my personal Instagram, so my kids are on there, but I am incorporating a lot more beauty and fashion things as well. So be sure and go follow me over there. Also, my kids are really cute. I know, I'm biased. I can say that. Everybody can say that about their kids. So be sure and go follow me over there if you want a little bit more fashion and beauty things with some real daily life as well. So thank you all so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, be sure and do so down below. I would love to have you back, and I will see you all again in my next one. Bye.